Food combinations. What can this mean for you? Hello there, this is Elaine, your detox coach from a Northern Infinite Wellness. And today I really want to share about what I know about food combinations because this is life-changing knowledge. Doesn't matter what your choice of diet is. If you are an omnivore, a fruitarian, a vegetarian, a carnivore, whatever you decide you are, you'll be better off if you combine your foods better. Let's use carnivorism for a moment. Everyone that knows me knows that I'm against being a carnivore, but the reason why people on a carnivore diet are doing so much better than on other diets is because they don't combine their meats with any other foods. And this has to do with food combinations. So let's dive into it a little bit. There's one lady, Mary Ann Scherer, she's based in the Cape. She written a book in the 80s, Perfect Health, by Mary Ann Scherer. And she focused this book on food combining. And in this book, she shares a story about a doctor that sort of inherited a soldier after the World Wars with an open stomach wound that wouldn't heal. And because he was sitting with this beautiful research opportunity, they went for it and they started letting food down in silk bags into his stomach just to see what happens, what actually happens. And it was so interesting how they got to the fact that your sugars, your starches, your oils all are actually digested by the enzymes that's in your spit. It's alkaline enzymes that is in your spit, in your saliva. And as you chew the food, this is your sugars, your carbohydrates, your basically all your plants and complex sugars as well, your starches and your oils. Everything you eat, it basically, the digestion starts with the enzymes in the saliva, goes down to your stomach. The stomach is only a holding back in this state at this moment and receive this food that is already mixed with the enzymes, and digestion continues, and then eventually the chyme with the enzymes go to the small intestines and digestion continues there as well. When you're eating complex structured food though, especially proteins, then you're looking at a acidic digestive process. So now the enzymes in your saliva doesn't do anything to the protein. The food goes to the stomach sends a signal out, the stomach and the small intestines produce pepsins to eventually produce hydrochloric acids. This then breaks down the complex structure. The liver and the gallbladder both have to produce bile and bicarb to bring this very acidic chyme, stomach chyme, down to an alkaline chyme before it hits the small intestine and digestion can actually start. So this is why there is a difference. Now, everything on this planet is chemistry, right? We need to learn to observe the chemistry and what the effect is of this chemistry outside our body, inside our body, when it's not combined, when it is combined. We need to understand chemistry. So if you were to eat your simple structured food, your carbohydrates, your fruits and your vegetables, your complex sugars, your starches, if you were to eat all of these kind of foods by themselves and you don't mix it with proteins, now you've got the ultimate digestion happening with that group of foods. Instead of having fermentation that happens, you actually are digesting the food, and the nutrients can get successfully to the cell because of this. When you do combine it with protein or complex structured food, now the food are combined. So some of the food are starting to be digested by the alkaline enzymes in the mouth. Then the food reaches the stomach, and the stomach gives the signal that there's complex structured food, and the stomach and the small intestines produce pepsins so that they can produce hydrochloric acids. These hydrochloric acids nullify the base, the alkaline enzymes. So immediately all the food that would have been digested further by the alkaline enzymes now stop in its track with digestion. And this then creates fermentation. If the food can't digest in your body, it will actually either ferment or putrefies. The carbohydrates ferment and the proteins goes into the direction of putrefaction. Now, the fermentation is a thing for your body. There's nothing in your body that can deal with fermentation. The fermentation literally creates alcohol and complex sugar as as a byproduct, and this then feeds the fungi further. So you're actually really feeding the fungi than feeding your cells if you're actually combining your food wrong. And you can imagine if you have 3 meals a day and all 3 meals are combined wrongfully, you're actually only receiving the nutritional value of the complex structured food that was part of your meal, and all the rest are going into fermentation. This is why the mainstream medicine says there's the vegetarian diet is less bioavailable than the meat diet. The nutrients in meat is more bioavailable, they say. And the reason for this is because people are combining their foods wrong. They're combining their carbohydrates and their simple structured food with their complex structured food, and this then renders them with only the nutritions from the complex structured food and a lot of fermentation happening that has its own cascading effect on cultivating more fungi and acids, of course, acid ash that's being formed. So food combinations are crucial, guys. When you go into the world of fruits and vegetables, a cooked meal is a complex structured. It depends how it's been cooked, right? If you steam beans, it's not a complex structured food, right? But if you have a bean curry, it's a complex structured food. Now you've put all these different things together and it has become a complex structured food. So when you're in the world of raw, now you're safe. Now you're getting safer with food combinations. In the world of fruits, there's one rule to remember: never to have your melons with any other fruits. Always have melons by itself, and never have fruits with any other kind of fruits. Always have fruits by itself. Fruits digest much faster. This is why we don't want to combine it with other food types that do not digest fast enough, and then it creates fermentation. And that's it on food combinations, guys. This is life-changing. This can really render you with way more energy than you used to, way less digestive waste, much more nutrients reaching your cells, building dynamic energy, way less fermentation, so less feeding of the fungi and all the things that comes from that. It's really worth investigating. Your complex structured food is everything like your meats, your dairy, all your grains, which includes your oats and your rice and your mueslis and all your seeds, all your beans and their dormant forms. If you start sprouting the seeds and your nuts and that, then it is not a complex structured food. So complex structured food is another word for protein. And our bodies are not so after the protein. Our bodies want amino acids, not so much the protein. So all the amino acids are found in especially raw foods, more so than in cooked foods. And you can really look at living on simple structured foods and only bringing in the proteins because you really like to do it every now and then, but you will receive everything you need from the carbohydrate side of things. And when well combined and not wrongfully combined with proteins, you will actually receive all the nutrients that comes from this experience, which is such a great thing for your body to receive. Remember, if you want to build a strong body, you're going to have to make sure that your elimination process is working. Your kidneys must be filtering your lymphatic fluid. And to get there, you have to hydrate and alkalize your lymphatic fluid to get there. If you want to know if your kidneys are filtering, urinate in a glass jar first thing in the morning and see within the first hour if you can see any mucus in your urine. If you can't, your kidneys are not filtering. You need to get your kidneys to filter if you want to be a healthy human. Find out how to do it. Go check out other videos on my channel. I'm sure you enjoyed this one. Get into the world of good food combinations. You can still have everything your heart desire. Instead of now having a veggie stir fry with rice, you can have a mushroom stir fry with rice, or you can have your meat with your rice, because they're both proteins. They both instigate the same digestive process. Don't combine your salads with your steaks. Don't combine your vegetables with your lentils or your rice. Keep the protein ones to itself. Make yourself a nice dal with lentils and rice. That's perfect. That's the same digestive process, acidic digestive process. Stick to the vegetables, then make yourself some cauliflower rice instead of rice. Use the potatoes or the other starches like sweet potato rather with your vegetables instead of putting protein with them. So there's just a little bit of shifts that needs to happen. It falls a little bit out of our culture, unfortunately. There's very few cultural food that is well combined. So this is a bit of a challenge out there. But in general, it is absolutely possible to walk into the world of well combined food and experience life-changing effects. I hope this helps. Check out in the description our link to our website. Go check out the services we do online. It would be lovely to spend some time with you healing. This is all from your detox coach, Helene.